Howdy guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today is going to be my February update for my project pan. If you're new, or if this is the first video that you've seen of my project pan series, I'm doing 20 makeup items in 2021, but I'm doing kind of like most of my makeup is new, so I'm doing like either hit pan or use up 20 items. I feel like that'll be a little bit more doable. Go through cycles with buying makeup like every 2 or 3 years or so. It's like just a routine that all my makeup expires or like is close to expiring because it's 2 or 3 years old, and then I just buy all new stuff and like get rid of the old stuff. So this year was like 2020 was the year that I bought a bunch of stuff, so that's why I'm trying to get use out of it now so I don't have that happen in 2023 or 24. That feels weird even saying 2023. Oh gosh. I'll link below to my Project Pan series as well as my declutter playlist and empties playlist in case you're interested in those. Just to recap, last month I hit my goal on one product. That was this shade in this e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. I hit pan on this yellow shade. So I substituted in another product for that last month. But this month, I didn't really wear makeup that much, but I did start doing TikToks like about 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks or like a week and a half, I don't remember. But that has helped me like be motivated to do my makeup because it's kind of fun, like doing the music and then like, you know, putting a look together. I did make a little bit of progress though. So the first thing on my list is the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Sleepless. I wore this a few times. I would say like 4 or 5 times, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for the times I wore makeup, I wore this most of the time. But I have noticed that this is starting to be weird. Usually this formula of liquid lipstick, I only have this one shade, but it used to totally dry down matte and it's started to not. Like it's more of a cream liquid lipstick now instead of a matte one. So that's kind of concerning. Every time I use it, I'll smell it and make sure that it still smells okay. And otherwise the color and the texture are okay, but I don't expect this to last much longer. It might help if I cleaned off the little twisty part because that's kind of goobery. But it still smells the same. I can't quite put my finger on what the scent of these is like. It's not vanilla. I don't know what it is. But it still smells like it did when it was new, so I'm not too worried about it right now. But I also wouldn't be too upset if it wasn't good anymore next month. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it up in a short amount of time though, so I'm banking on this going bad to get it out of this project because it's not gonna last. But I also can't tell, like I really don't know if I'm even close because it's impossible with a liquid lipstick. And the next thing is the Milani blush in Luminoso. I'm sure you've seen this before 1,000 times. But here is the picture of it when I first started this project. And then here is the picture of it last month. And then here is where I am now. My goal on this is to get the pan about halfway over, but it's also kind of difficult to concentrate my brush like where it's kind of curved like that. I thought I could make it like a straight line. I don't think that matters, but it's kind of hard to get it only in that one little spot, so I may just like do the middle, like just if I can get just the middle part over to the center of the pan, then that'll be good enough. I'll have to take a look myself for this to see where I was last time. So I have actually made visible progress. You can see a little bit more of those little squares in the pan on that row of the squares. So I'm pretty happy about that. I have made some actual progress on it. This blush is eternal. And the number 3 was that one from earlier, like I showed you, the yellow in this palette. And then I was also, why I covered it up part of the way was because I was working on the shade right on top of it called Bold. I'll put up right here what it looked like at the beginning, and then what it looked like in the last update. And then here is where it is now. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. I don't think I'm really close though. I only used this maybe 3 times this month, to be honest. When I do use it, I use a lot of it at a time. Like I kind of pack it on, or I'll use it all over my lid. Because it's kind of one of those shades that's like multi-dimensional. You can get away with blending it out like pretty much in your lid and your crease and under your eye, and it looks decent. But I want to hit pan on that and get this out of my rotation, because I am doing a weekly makeup basket kind of deal with my other products that I'm not panning. And I just want to use other eyeshadow palettes, because I have a ton of new palettes, and I have a ton of palettes that, not a ton, I have a few new palettes that I have gotten recently that I haven't even gotten to use yet, because I'm like feel bad for not using this one. So I don't know, I just want to get this one out and be able to use my other eyeshadow palettes. But that is the only pan that I have currently in any of my eyeshadow palettes, because they are mostly new. This is the oldest one. So the last product that was originally in my intro was the e.l.f. contour palette, but I'm only focusing on this one contour shade. So it had 2 highlighters and 2 contour / bronzer shades. I used up the other bronzer, and I used up one of the highlighters, and then the other highlighter wouldn't work for me, so I just didn't use it at all. So I'm trying to finish up this one now. So here's where it was when I first started. I had already hit pan on it way before this. And then here is last update. And then here it is now. I use this every time I do my makeup, and I put it on my cheekbones and on my nose. I just don't want to overdo it with this, because overdone contour is not good. Like, you could probably get away with overdoing blush to some degree, but I think overdone contour would be like no. I also don't want to use it as eyeshadow, because I have other eyeshadows that I want to use instead of using the same brown all the time. So I'm just going to wait it out. When I use it every day, it's going to get used up eventually. Then last month I added in a new product since I hit my goal on that yellow eyeshadow. So I added in the Ofra highlighter in Pillow Talk. So here's where it was when I added it last month. Couldn't really tell any progress on it. Then here's where I am now. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the lights. It's kind of shiny. I have made a dent right in the middle. I use a really fluffy eyeshadow brush to apply this, so it's not like a huge dent. I just want to hit pan on this though. Did I say that already? There's no way by anything, like by any stretch of the imagination, that I could use this up even in an entire year, so I just want to hit pan. That's all I'm asking. Well, as of now, I'm considering changing the rules on myself 2 months in, because at the beginning I said I don't want to put in things that I use up a lot anyways. Like I go through concealer and foundation and like mascara and brow products like crazy, and powder too especially. But I have these foundations that I don't really like. I did a whole video ranking all of my foundations. I'll link that below. That's based on my personal preference, not necessarily like that they're bad. But I have a few that are just not good, and I have them in my rotation right now. I am almost all the way through, like rotated all the way through all of my foundations, like using them at least for 1 week. And I just, kind of the point of that rotation was to see if I actually like everything in my collection, because I can sit and declutter all day, but until I actually have to use the stuff, I really don't know. So like using these foundations every day for the past week, I hate them. I did, however, try to mix them with another one that I don't like, which I did today and yesterday. It worked a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. But I also don't wear my makeup for more than like an hour at a time, because I'll do it to film and then do like a TikTok and then Instagram picture and then take it off, because I always wait until late at night. Like right now it's about 4 a.m. Just so the house is quiet and everybody else is asleep, so I don't have to worry about like background noise. But today I filmed and then I did some other stuff. I ate dinner, and this is looking real bad. Like real bad. I wouldn't go out. Like normally I don't really care like if my makeup is kind of if I go out somewhere, but I would not go out with it like this. I'm not even gonna zoom you in. It is like around my lips, and which my lips have been kind of crusty anyways. I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know what's going on. But the foundation is not doing it any favors. So I'm thinking about adding in the foundation to the project, just to get rid of it. But like, I also don't want to make myself use it. I thought that I could get away with it by mixing it with the other one, but it's not going to work. So the ones I'm talking about are the Pacifica Alight foundation. I have 2 shades of it because I kept buying the wrong one. And instead of buying a third one, I'm just mixing them together and they kind of work. My problem with this is that, number one, the scent. I cannot stand the fragrance on this. That's like a personal thing. I really don't care if products have fragrance in them, like formula-wise. Like, it doesn't really bother my skin necessarily, but I don't like things that smell. That's just like a personal sensory issue that I have. I don't like scented things, so scented foundation is not good for me. But also, this is dewy and it transfers real bad. So like, if I put it on around my nose and I take my glasses off, it's gone like immediately. Like, I'll put my glasses on, immediately take them back off. It rubs this off. Like, I can't deal with that. Let alone try to go somewhere with a mask or something. It would be completely gone before you even like get from the car to the grocery store. So I tried to mix it with this one that's like a liquid to powder, this KVD True Portrait foundation, and it kind of worked. Like, it worked to mattify it a little bit, and also this one's a little bit lighter, so I mixed it with the darker Pacifica one and it worked fine. But it just still, like, this breaks up on me and sinks into my dry patches. Wow, I can't talk today. It's clear that it is 4 a.m. right now. This sinks into my dry patches, and that Pacifica foundation didn't fix that part of this, so I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know what to do. So I'll have to think about that some more to see if I want to put them in a project or just like pan them outside of this project to get rid of them, because all my other foundations I would wear any day, no problem. But those... So to kind of go along with this project pan, I'm doing a sort of low buy, but not really. So I'm allowing myself 2 orders per month, no more than $100 each, which I need to cut back on because I have to save for some things. And yeah, so I think I'm going to put those in their own separate video. I kind of thought about doing them in with my empties like I did last month, but I think I'm going to do them in a whole separate video, especially if I have more than one order to show you. Because I think last month I just had one order and it didn't really feel like it warranted its own video. But I am waiting for one. I ordered some stuff from September Rose Cosmetics and they're in the UK, and it was stuck in customs for like a week, but I think it's finally moving now. I just got an email that it's in Chicago, so it shouldn't take too long. Hopefully it's here this week. I can film that video soon because I want to like use the other stuff, but I'm afraid I'll get confused if I start using it, so I'm just gonna wait, show it all to you, and then like use it in a get ready with me or something. Hopefully next month I'll be able to cross at least one more thing off of the list of pan items, because it was kind of a bummer not being able to add anything new this month, but I kind of expected it because I didn't really wear makeup that much. Click over here to watch my most recent video, or click over here to watch another one that I think you'll like, and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss seeing my face in your subscription box every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Links to my social media, my business, and my blog will be in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the comments. Bye.